the smartest, the best, the biggest brain man of them all, Anthony Brian Logan. You can tell he's smart because he has wooden carvings of the old-fashioned American flag, this American flag, which is like a little different looking, and then the police flag, all hand-carved on pine wood grown right here on my property. He also, keep in mind, calls himself the common sense conservative. A trend you might notice is the critically thinking veterans, the common sense conservatives. They very often are using that as like a form of denial. They're just like, look, my name says I'm common sense. How can you deny this?
That crime doesn't pay, but I can't.
So he's fucking talking about this thing that happened. I'm going to let him give you the news first, and then we're going to actually talk about what really happens, because I think that this is going to really give you a feel for just how dishonest this person is. Oh, also, his hat, I survived the plandemic. Well, that's certainly not a virtue signal.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian
we're
Logan, and
watching
today
your
we got to talk about the
videos.
Biden administration preparing to pay $450,000 to people affected negatively by Donald Trump's 2018 zero tolerance policy at the southern border between U.S. and Mexico. Now, there's a whole lot here. There's a lot we got to really discuss, but first, let's back up a little bit to explain what's going on.
So, as you can imagine, conservatives are not happy about this, of course. Reparations to the illegal immigrants? Oh, the world's gone mad.
They say, meaning Biden, Kamala Harris, Alejandro Mayorkas, all these people, they say that the border is closed, don't come to the border, all this and that. But when you see the border, it's wide open. The Border Patrol.
What do you mean it's wide open? That's how the border looks, dude. But anyway, this guy, again, just like regurgitating lies. We already know from this previous conservative panel that I was on when I did that research then that Biden has been involved in one of the largest expulsions of migrants in like history. So historically speaking, no, Biden is actually doing a very good job at expelling migrants that aren't supposed to be here. Now, if you want to say that, oh no, all of a sudden there's a crisis at the border, usually when there's a new president, there's going to be an influx of people that come here because they want to try to take advantage of a new administration and whatnot. That is pretty standard shit. What really matters not so much as how many people are coming to the border, but what is Biden's response? Biden's response is expelling a fuck ton of these migrants. In fact, historically large amounts.
Can't really do anything. Their hands are tied. At one point, they had 15,000 Haitians up under a bridge, and a lot of them got sent back, but that's a different story. And for now, I digress.
That's one of the biggest expulsions. I think it was the Haitians one specifically, actually. So how is that a different story? Does it not count because it doesn't fit your feelings or your common sense?
The whole point is that the border is wide open. It doesn't matter what they say. Now, under Trump, this wasn't the case. It was not the case. Why? Because he had policies that made it unattractive to go to the border and try to get in illegally in the first place, right? Zero tolerance. You get caught at the border, you're getting sent back. You want to apply for asylum, do that in Mexico. Don't try to do that here.
These people should not be allowed to use the internet. I actually think that Anthony Brian Logan should be banned from the internet. Okay, well, now we've heard enough lies. I'm going to have to give you guys the actual info on what's going on here so that you know. So he's acting as if, oh no, this is so spooky. Biden, just out of the goodness of his heart, is going to start paying illegal immigrants $450,000 each. Oh no, this was a lawsuit. There was a lawsuit. There is a lawsuit, an ongoing lawsuit against the federal government right fucking now. If we want to look at it from this perspective, okay, a lawsuit was brought forward to the federal government about how migrant children specifically were being treated by being separated from their families because of a Trump policy. On top of this, the lawsuit so far sounds to be pretty well fucking justified. Apparently, according to this report, Donald Trump violated international law. The human rights organization said this was provided by Customs, Border Protection, and it indicates the government has separated more families than previously acknowledged. The 74-page report titled, "You Don't Have Any Rights Here, Illegal Pushbacks, Arbitrary Detention, and Ill Treatment of Asylum Seekers in the United States," said the U.S. is violating international laws in a systematic and cruel effort to prevent and dissuade asylum seekers from entering the country. There are international laws in place that Donald Trump was arguably violating. This is when the lawsuit was brought forward, and why, even when Trump was still president, a federal judge refused to throw the lawsuit out. So that's the first thing, though, is that it's not just Joe Biden's being nice, giving reparations for some reason. This is a fucking lawsuit, and they're trying to settle it, okay? What he just said here was so dumb, it actually makes me want to punch my fucking computer screen. You want to apply for asylum? Do that in Mexico. Do you want to read from the U.S. Code on asylum? Any alien who is physically present in the United States, or who arrives in the United States, whether or not at a designated port of arrival, the literal motherfucking U.S. law is that you need to enter the country first in order to apply for asylum. But Donald Trump was blocking them from doing that, separating families and putting the adults and families separated, or the children and the adults separated in detention centers. This not only violates international law, this violates the U.S. Code. This violates U.S. law. The fact that he could get away with saying something this dumb to an audience of nearly 900,000 morons actually makes me fear for the demise of humanity. Like, as long as there are people like this guy and people that take this idiot seriously, we do not stand a chance moving forward.
The car at the border, you're an underage person, you're a kid or whatever. Maybe there's a so-called parent with you. Could be a coyote, but whatever. If you guys go to the border, we're going to separate you until we figure out what's going on. We're going to put the adult in detainment over here.
No, you don't do that. Instead, they apply as a family for asylum, and it's during that process when you're snuffing everything out that you can figure out maybe if they are a coyote. If they're a coyote and they're trying to get in there illegally, why would they go and try to apply for asylum? How common is that? I mean, it's possible that I know it's happened before for sure, but like one of the ways that it violated international law was by separating the children. You don't be like, I'm just going to take your kid away, and then until we figure out that it's yours, then we'll give them back.
I've heard Haitians being interviewed by Fox and other stations say that they've been in South America for the past 13 years or more, ever since the earthquake in Haiti. They've been in South America, and they waited until Biden got in there because he had the border wide open. Trump didn't have that. Now, the Biden administration...
Yes. Let's not look at statistics. Let's look at the one immigrant that was broadcasted by Fox News that said, well, Biden's president, so now I can just walk through the border. This is what happens, by the way, when your entire life is dedicated to validating your delusion and your feelings.
And say that this treatment of illegal aliens at the border, zero tolerance policy, was inhumane and it wasn't right. And they want to give them reparations. Yes, I said reparations. I'll talk about that word specifically in a little bit. But going back to the money, the $450,000, that's for each person negatively affected.
Wait, by your logic, does that mean anytime someone wins a lawsuit, that's reparations they're being paid? I mean, if you want to be that fucking broad with the definition, fine by me. But I mean, this is a lawsuit. The government is paying these people because they're facing a lawsuit. Paying people out during lawsuits is actually a really common thing.
Mentally. So let's say there was a child and a so-called mother at the border, and they're separated. And they can claim mental anguish and mental distress and PTSD, all this, that, and the third. From that separation, they're able to get $450,000 each. Not just for one family to distribute among their entire family, for each person affected negatively. So the child and the mom will get $450 each. So you're talking about 900 bands, as the cool kids say.
Oh, no, that sucks, dude. If only your president didn't fucking separate families, they would never have violated international law and violated the code when it comes to applying for asylum, and then they wouldn't have to pay these families out because there wouldn't have ever been a lawsuit. If only, right? Let's not get too ahead of ourselves, okay? We only say pull ourselves up by the bootstraps when we want to, demean black people. you know the drill.
$100,000 for two people. Now, I'm no mathematician. I'm no Albert Einstein, but if you got a family of four, that's $1.8 million. Because they broke the law. Understand this. Crossing the border without any kind of paperwork, without any kind of, legal ability to do so, that's not legal. You're committing a crime right there. That's why they're getting detained and separated.
Really?
You're committing a crime you can't do.
Really? That's strange. If that's committing a crime, then why is it literally in the law that says you have to be physically present in the U.S. in order to apply for asylum? Really? Strange. Did you read past the headline, ABL? Or did you just read the headline, make it look like it's from a mainstream source, and then just go and fucking read the Tucker Carlson opinion piece? Because Tucker Carlson made a little opinion piece that I scrolled through just to see. He never once mentioned that it was a lawsuit either. these people are dishonest political hacks.
Broke and entered the country basically, or at least attempted to, and you're getting paid because you got locked up for it. What? It's crazy because as far as I know, the way the gun laws are in the USA, if somebody breaks in your house and they're in there, the homeowner or the person that lives there, if that's their residence, they can shoot the intruder, kill him, and not even go to court. If I'm wrong about that, y'all let me know. So I find it.
What? Wait. So there's a difference then protecting your property from an intruder versus shooting someone for entering your country to apply for asylum via the legal process. What the fuck are you talking about? Dude, I get so mad because these people are just all fucking intuition. They're like, my gut feeling is this, so that's gotta be correct. You wouldn't let someone break into your house? Well, then why would you let somebody come into your country? Yes, thank you, Barney. You want to try to clap and count to 3 now? It's fucking children. Even more so, you can look at, let's go to a different website if you're not content with just the literal law. Affirmative asylum process. To obtain asylum through the affirmative asylum process, you must be physically present in the United States. You may apply for asylum regardless of how you arrived in the United States or your current immigration status. Great, thank you. Took how long? Let's see. Do we want to time it? 2.3 seconds to do the necessary research to find out the truth around this story. But again, when you have these dumb fuck political, mentally handicapped people, then you're stuck literally going back to the basics and being like, okay, nice video, bro, so far, but did you happen to scroll down at all and read the context?
Let's say there's 5,000 more parents, so 1 parent per each child, although there's more, but let's just say, for math's sake, 5,000 kids, 5,000 so-called parents.
So right here, just go to one website, please. Just read if you have the ability to. It's right here. Discussions are ongoing and would be part of a settlement package for multiple lawsuits the federal government is facing.
How does that make any sense? Huh? I'm just kind of failing to understand the logic here. And of course, reparations. We got to talk about that word because I know a lot of you guys that are watching this are completely upset. I'm talking about beyond mad. Like steam coming out your ears right now. How are they going to give illegal aliens reparations, but black folks can't get it? Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not in favor of reparations for black folks or anybody else, especially not no illegal aliens committing crimes. But for those that are in favor of reparations for black folks for slavery and whatnot, this is what I was talking about before on different debates when I said that when people like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and others are asked, hey, what about black folks, reparations for slavery? What are we going to do? And then they respond like this. Oh, well, we're going to do a study and we're going to figure it out and we're going to come to this conclusion. Ain't going to be no study. There's not going to be a study. And if there is a study, it ain't nothing but a grift to get money to do the study, but they won't do anything with it.
Wait, what? The bipartisan bill was going to be investing, was it at $2 billion in this one black community that had been separated by a highway? All right, now I'm done with this. I'm about to get on this debate, and I don't want to be going in so fucking hot right off the bat. It's just, when I hear stuff like this that's just like so stupid, it's like you're just lying. You're just making bullshit up. Like, what's even the point of listening to you if you're just going to tell me a story? I'll go call my fucking grandma if I want to hear a bedtime story. I mean, people tune into this guy for political analysis. Never once does he mention it's actually a lawsuit. Never once does he mention it's actually a lawsuit. Yeah, that's the other thing, is it's just now like a giant virtue signal, because he's like, well, I don't want reparations, but if I did, why is it not helping black people? It's like, why do you fucking care? You just said you don't like reparations. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you get notified when I drop a new video.